Hello everybody, my name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Giddey said something after the Washington Wizards game that I thought was pretty... It got me frustrated, put it that way. And I'm not someone that... look, maybe you guys might think otherwise. I tend to sometimes bring emotion into these videos, but sometimes I'd like to believe that I'm cool, calm, and collected and I can really speak and give an honest thought as unbiased as possible. That's what I try to be. But sometimes when people speak, it gets emotions out of you. Basically, Josh Giddey suggested there was a big reason why we lost to the Wizards, and this is a reason that till this day I do not understand how NBA teams can feel this way when they play in the NBA. I want to discuss what he said, I want to discuss why it triggers me, and I hope we never see not only an excuse like this again, but we never see this type of mentality in this Bulls team again. We're talking about this Bulls team growing up and needing to learn. Well, this is a good way to learn. So let's talk about it in this video. Before we get any further though, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a follow, like or subscribe and help, share, the video to as many people as possible, whatever you feel like doing. Anyway, it is what it is. We could get all that jibber jabber out of the way. Let's get started. Basically, Josh Giddey said, and this is in quotes, "We came in too cool. It's the NBA. Anyone could beat anyone on any given night. These guys haven't had a lot of wins. We probably came in with the wrong mindset that we can roll out of bed and walk away with a win." Sometimes things are better left unspoken, to be honest, because this reasoning, look, I'm not saying it's Josh Giddey's fault for saying that, but my goodness, if that's actually how the Bulls walked into this game, they must be the most delusional team in the NBA. First and foremost, before we even talk about what he actually said, who do the Chicago Bulls think they are to be able to think that they can just walk out of bed and get a win over anybody? We're 15 and 19 and 10th in the Eastern Conference. What type of mentality do you need to have to know that you're facing a team that, yeah, sure, might not be as good as you, that you could just walk out of bed and pick up a victory? Are you the Boston Celtics? Are you the NBA champions? Are you number one in the East or the West? Are you even in the playoffs in the East or the West? If those answers are no for all of them, you should not be coming into any game thinking we can roll out of bed and win it. What are we? That is ridiculous. And now it's time to go at the mentality of this team, right? How many teams in the NBA, how many people have said in the NBA that anyone could beat anyone? I can list probably at least in double figures the amount of players that have said anyone in the NBA can beat anybody, no matter how ass you are. I've even heard people say G League teams can beat NBA teams on any given night. I've heard people say that. That, I'd have to see it to believe it, but you know what? Fair enough. It is what it is. So, these are professional basketball players. They get paid millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Some of them too many millions, too many M's. They get paid millions of dollars to play this game. So, of course, anyone can beat anyone. I'm not surprised with that statement. That's not the part that even bothers me. The fact that he can say that, Josh Giddey, he can say anyone can beat anybody on any given night. And then in the same sentence say the Bulls came in with the wrong mindset. They want to roll out of bed and think they can win. That is ridiculously poor mentality. That is ridiculously poor mentality. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Unless you can actually roll out of bed and win the game, shut up and don't say stuff like that. Or better yet, don't think like that. You're not a championship team. You're not a contender. You have no rights to even make a statement like that when you're 15 and 19. You don't have a right to think like that when you're 15 and 19. You don't have a right, in general, to think like that. It's ridiculous. It honestly is ridiculous how bad some of the mentality. It's not just the Bulls, by the way. You think this is only a Bulls problem? This is a very big NBA problem right now, where people could just think they could just roll out of bed and win games and stuff of that nature. Like, grow up, man. If you want to be an NBA champion, you have to try to take every game as seriously as possible. And then you'll hear some other people with some other quote saying we take every game seriously. That, to me, is a quote that suggested you did not take this game seriously. Because if you took this game seriously, you would have had a different mindset, you would have a different approach, you wouldn't have this lazy, got out of bed and try to win the game type of situation. Look, I will always appreciate honesty. So thank you, Josh Giddey, for at least being honest with the situation. I know it's probably not a comfortable situation to be in. It's an embarrassing loss to the Washington Wizards. No one wants to go through that type of situation. And you got to give respect to the Wizards for showing up on the night, right? And I respect the honesty to at least come out and say, hey, this is the mentality that we had. It's the wrong mentality to have. But at the end of the day, these guys are professionals. And they've had years of experience to watch to understand how to approach the game of basketball. They've had years of experience. They've watched from guys like Kobe Bryant to the Kevin Garnett's to the LeBron Jameses to all these other great superstars and the Stephen Currys, all these great superstars. They've had experience. They can watch all these guys back. And not one of those guys would have the mentality and would have the balls even to say, we woke up and try to win the game. That's it. Roll out of bed and win the game mentality. Nah, not for me. Not for me. That is a really bad quote, ladies and gentlemen. And it did trigger me beyond belief when I saw it. I can't believe this is even a conversation. Again, they need to learn from this. I can't believe this is a lesson they have to learn in 2024. I mean, literally, there are teams that come back by 20 on a daily. We were one of them at the beginning of the season. So I can't believe we have to learn this lesson in 2024. Fix your mentality, man. Simple as that. Fix your mentality. I'm not asking you to have the Mamba mentality, anything like that. But I expect better mentality than waking out of bed thinking you can win the game. Or not even that. It's the roll out of bed and walk away with a win. Basically, we don't have to try to win the game. That's how I sum that up as. Oh, I don't have to try. We'll win anyway. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's a tanking quote if I've ever seen one. Yet, it doesn't feel like we're tanking now, does it? Be better. Be better. Thanks for being honest, Josh Giddey. But this whole team, if that's how they thought, they need to be better. It kind of sucks because, I've been talking really highly about Josh Giddey recently. At the end of the day, he's been a big difference maker. But unfortunately, when you say quotes like that, it's almost like he's taking the brunt of the abuse. It's not just Josh Giddey. This is an entire Chicago Bulls team problem. And I would say this is the majority of the NBA's problem. Again, I've been talking about how I've missed the olden days of basketball. I'm truly becoming a vet in terms of the basketball scene, it feels like, missing the old days, just like every other vet that there ever was. But still, modern basketball, old basketball, the mentality of the game should always be approached the same. You need to try your absolute best to win that game. So, don't ever say, we didn't try again, because that's basically what you said. Roll out of bed and win the game. You didn't try. Try next time. That'd be nice. And you better try against the Knicks. In a couple of hours' time, a day's time, you better try against the Knicks. I do not want the Derrick Rose ceremony to be a massacre. The New York comes in and destroys us. If that is a game that we lose by a large amount, you might see a different side of me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to lie. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how I feel. Thank you for watching. That's all I've got to say. Maybe it's an overreaction. Maybe it isn't. I don't care. It was enough for me to make a video about it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Probably a little bit more cool, calm, collected. Let's not see any more rubbish quotes like that again. Goodbye. Take care. And peace.